Indianapolis, crossroads of America. An IU natatorium, always a desired destination for swimming's elite. Some of the best and brightest on hand this week, like the Walsh sisters, Gretchen and Alex, smiling now, swimming soon. And we'll see Bobby Fink swimming as well, and we'll see if he's smiling after trying the 1500 free 400 IM double. NBC Sports brings you coverage of the Tier Pro Swim Series, Indianapolis. Here in this city known for speed, the storied motorsport history of the Indy 500, IU Natatorium downtown has its own record of riveting racing and over 500 swimmers on hand trying to go as fast as possible here at this meet. Hi there, Jason Knapp here. Glad to have you with us alongside a guy that used to go fast in his day, three-time Olympic gold medalist Rowdy Gaines. Nicole Auerbach will be here with interviews and more. Rowdy, you just say Indianapolis in swimming, and it brings a smile to a lot of people's faces, considering all the moments and memories here in this town over the years.
In many ways, it's our Wrigley Field. It's our Fenway Park. It is a palace that has so many memories, including my own, when I made the Olympic team right here 42 years ago.
Well, 2 years ago, they moved to the big house down the road, Lucas Oil Stadium, and more magic created, including a stupendous performance from Gretchen Walsh.
Unbelievable in 2 years what she has done in taking this event into her own personal playground. She broke that world record there. Guess what? 13 fastest times in history later on. 2 years later, it is unbelievable the way she has obliterated that time in the 100 butterfly, an event she'll swim tonight.
And meantime, on the men's side, two guys with golden glows and stories of their own. How about Bobby Fink and Ryan Murphy?
Well, set a watch to Bobby Fink in the 1500. Double Olympic champion, world record holder. No swimmer has ever won 3 1500s in a row in Olympic competition. He obviously has that chance in L.A. when we get there in 2 years. And then there's another king. That's Ryan Murphy. Murph has done a tremendous job over his career, maybe the best backstroker in history. Took a couple years off. Last night he goes a fast time, winning the 100 backstroke. He's the top seed in the 50. It's going to be a great night of action.
Can't wait to get it rolling as we look at the top qualifiers and all of the events on our schedule. Good mix of races, and we'll begin with that distance endeavor for the men, the 1500 meters. Bobby Fink, certainly the star of the show in the 1500 just a little while ago. Nicole Auerbach caught up with the American star.
Bobby, back in Westmont, we saw you do a double with the 800 free and the 400 IM. What did you learn from that you can take into tonight?
That I know it's going to hurt a lot. It's more so about the mindset going into it. I know it's not going to feel good, but I'm going to just suffer through it and try and put out some good times.
You told me that the 400 IM is your fun race. How fun is that going to be with that double and all that tough swimming?
It's not going to be much fun. I can tell you that. But, you know, it still has a special place in my heart, and I'm just going to try, and we'll see what happens.
Thanks. Good luck out there.
Thank you.
Well, he was U.S. national champ of the 400 IM last summer, opted not to swim it at the Worlds in Singapore. Two-time Olympic gold medalist of this race, of course, including that thrilling world record run on the last night of the competition in Paris. Fink, now 26, surrounded in this final by 7 teenagers here in this field. A look at the All-American contingent. And one of those teenagers, Ratty, William Mulgrew in lane 4, who swims at Harvard, Ivy League champion of the mile. He bested Fink in a 1500 in Fort Lauderdale just about a month ago and set his lifetime best in the process.
Yeah, that was a great swim for this young man who might peek into the future. If you look into that crystal ball, Mulgrew could be one of those guys that will be most likely swimming for second when we get to Indy here in 2 years.
Take your marks.
Bobby is kind of just slowly progressed to where he's in what he call fighting shape right now. You know, I mean, I thought his 1500 last summer was really good. We watched that race, Jason, at those World Championships. He finished with the bronze medal, but he went 14:36. And again, that's off his world record time that he broke just a year earlier in Paris. But he was sick as a dog, man.
Yeah.
The entire team, most of the team was sick, but he was one that was really affected by that illness that ran rampant across that team last summer. So for him to be able to do that time, knowing what he had been through the previous couple weeks, was pretty special.
And you could say he's sick in another way by attempting this double tonight of the 1500 and the 400 IM. But he talked about it, Rowdy, in that interview with Nicole.
Yeah.
Just wrapping your mind around what you're going to try to do tonight. And again, he knows the bigger picture, what he's going to put himself through and what he's hoping that it leads to.
What I think it does for Bobby, mentally it helps. You know, I mean, to suffer like that, and arguably, I mean, you'll get a lot of arguments from a lot of different swimmers on this, but arguably the two toughest events in the sport itself. And not only are the two toughest, but they're the two toughest, not necessarily back-to-back, but in the same evening. Very, very rare that that's done by any swimmer. And Bobby's one of the few that has that capability to do it, and do it at a high level, Jason.
Yeah, certainly that's the case. So Fink right now in lane 5 in that top 4. A battle here between Max Carlson of Wolfpack Elite, William Mulgrew, we mentioned, who swims collegiately at Harvard, and Carson Hick, who is 6th at the World University Games for the United States from Kentucky Aquatics. He's in the mix in the early stages too. Roddy, we're happy to be joined by the national team director for USA Swimming, Greg Meehan. Thanks for taking the time to chat with us. Is that title normal now? It's been a little bit over a year to get used to saying that as opposed to being somewhere else?
I'm getting there.
Okay.
You know, I'll always be a coach at heart, but I feel like I hit January and finally had a good understanding of what I wanted the role to be. And so, you know, kind of feel like we put our staff together, we put our team together, and I'm finding the right stride now.
We know the goal clearly is LA 2028 and the results that come from that. But for you, having ideas of what you wanted to implement, and now a year plus into that, are you starting to see the signs of growth that maybe you would have hoped for from the program overall?
Absolutely. And I think the biggest takeaway, the first sort of order of business for us was setting the culture, setting the team culture, getting people connected. And we're doing little things. Like some of it's low-hanging fruit. For all of our Pro Swim Series meets, we're not hosting, but we're having all of our national teamers and national junior teamers come to the pool a little bit early on Tuesday, the night before, and we're doing relay exchanges. It's a fun way to get together for our pros that don't get many reps at relay starts. We're giving them that opportunity, but that's a big piece. The biggest piece right away was just culture. That was something coming out of Paris that felt like that was first order of business. Let's get people connected. And the feedback's been really great. People have talked about, you know, they've been on the national team for a long time, but it's the first time they've actually felt like part of a team from that perspective outside of their college or their club. So, we've sort of just gone down the checklist, but that was the biggest one.
When you analyze things, Greg, when you take a look at the men and take a look at the women, what are the differences right now 2 years out?
Yeah, we're in an interesting place, I think. Our men's team is younger than it's been. And I don't want to say inexperienced, but they're gaining valuable experience 2 years out from the games. You look at the Luka Mijanoviches and the Henry McFaddens and the Bam Mathias, who's older, but really this is his first time on this stage, right? That swim last night was wildly impressive. And he's such a cool guy. He just does his thing. So that's where the men are at. And then on the women's side, it is a lot of the same group of athletes with now a smattering of some of the youngsters. You got to watch Riley Arisman last night do her thing. Excited to watch someone like Sydney Sheck tonight in the 400 IM. So there are pieces of newcomers, but I think it's a flip of maybe what it's been in the past of, a really experienced men's team and a younger women's team. It's now a little bit of a flip.
Does it put a smile on your face?
It does.
When you see a Murph go out there and go 52.8, or Isabel Stadden, or Van, or Kate, even Kate's 207 flat last night. I always think about you first for some reason. I go, oh, that'll put a smile on Red's
Absolutely.
face.
Absolutely. That women's 200 free last night.
Yeah.
We're not there yet in terms of, hey, we've got a stable of 153s, but looking at Anna Poplawski and Riley and others getting the mix there, like, okay, here we go. We're building good momentum.
Compelling race we're watching as well. Mulgrew still leading. Again, he bested Fink a little over a month ago at a meet in Fort Lauderdale. They're the top two right now. Ellis Creasy from Tsunami Swim Team in Kansas City, future Texas Longhorn, third best at this point. It's a unique summer, Greg, with nationals not being a qualifying meet for Pan Packs, but clearly there's an opportunity for a lot of athletes to kind of get racing experience with a lot of those performers already set for that second meet in Irvine and Pan Packs, but the chance to shine on the national stage.
For sure. And it goes really beyond that. We were intentional in wanting to select our Pan Pac team a year in advance, and we knew that we were going to miss somebody, and I would put Anna Mosh in that category, right? She's had a stellar year, but we also put together that AP London trip last month, and we were very intentional about how we selected that team. They had to be they had to be under 22. They couldn't have been on the national team more than 2 years, and they can't be on the Pan Pac team. But someone like Anna, she's going to be a player for us as we move through the next 2 years. She goes to that meet, and she sets the American record in the 100 free. It's like, okay, that's exactly what we wanted. She got international experience in a year that she wouldn't have gotten it otherwise, and then she still gets to go to nationals. And for everybody else, it's the not having the pressure of a qualifying meet for one summer. Right? One summer in the quad, don't have a qualifying meet. And so the Pan Pac athletes, they have all the way until the middle of August until they need to be ready. And you can see it here. People are in different places. You've got some that are really sharp, and others, like Bobby and Katie and the Florida crew, they're swimming really well and hard, but, they're not sharp, and that's okay because that's where they need to be right now. And so everyone is on their path. But it's fun watching some of these young guys here in an event that, Bobby has dominated for a while, and without a ton of young company, watching Will Mulgrew this year, knowing Carson Hick, even Ellis, who's not on the national team, but he is trending in a really positive direction. So it's fun to see that.
You're going to be able to sleep here pretty soon?
September 1st of 28.
25 months. I think, I don't know. I have really good feelings about this tournament. I mean, I had the experience of swimming in my home country, and the great feeling that was, and that's obviously going to help so much, but I love the way you're putting it is a puzzle, man.
It is.
And putting these pieces together, and I really feel good about this direction.
Thanks.
And a lot of that is because of you.
I appreciate that. But, a lot of it is, I've always said our greatest asset is our depth of coaching talent. And, there's coaches doing it a bunch of different ways. And but there does seem to be a little something different with the group right now, and that's something that we're really excited about. And to your point, Rowdy, we're going to take advantage of competing at home this summer, even for a Pan Pacs.
Yep.
We have not hosted an international competition at the senior level since Pan Pacs in 2010.
Long time.
Right, and haven't hosted an Olympic Games since Atlanta in '96. So we have a lot of people that don't have that experience. We're going to take that valuable experience this summer, and we'll talk about things like how we use that 2 years from now.
Yeah.
How do you, Rowdy, for you, how did you use the crowd to your advantage versus having the expectations of 15,000 people, get you to a place where maybe you didn't swim your own race?
That's exactly right, and that's what they need to use. They need to use that energy, and they will. I think these older guys are going to be able to help the youngsters say take advantage of it, because it really is an advantage.
In those conversations for LA, you're going to leave out the 38,000 people that may be watching.
I took a guess at on 84,
Right.
15,000. I have no
sounds
idea.
about right.
Was
That's
it
about
good?
right.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
that's
good.
about right.
Okay, good.
Of course, everything being magnified. It'll be fun to watch the progress as we get to that great moment in 2028. Greg, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for the time.
Thank you, guys.
Thank
Appreciate
you,
it.
buddy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good luck.
Watching the tail end of this race, and again, still the top four, not a lot of separation. That top three, Fink, Mulgrew, and Creasy, getting joined there by Carson Hick, 21-year-old from Kentucky Aquatics, starting to see if he can surge his way to the front. And a phenomenal race here, really rowdy all the way through.
It really has been. I mean, when Greg first came in, I think we had 5 guys flip at the 200, all within about a half a second. Well, here we are, 1,100 meters into the race, and now 34 100s separate the top 4 swimmers. So, yeah, we've got a good one going on here.
And Rowdy, we heard Bobby Fink talk about it. He knows he's going to be tired, but if you're Bobby Fink, what are you thinking about knowing that you've got someone above you, someone below you, and the 400 IM a little bit later on?
Well, I think he's got plenty of time to rest. I mean, the 400 IM, the last event of the evening, he's got an hour and a half at least. So I think he'll be fine with that. I don't think he's thinking about that at all. If anything, this is so good for these other kids, and I call them kids. Creasy's 17, Mulgrew's only 19. So I think it's really good for these other kids to be able to be surrounded by, perhaps, if not now, soon to be the greatest distance swimmer in history, arguably, with Bobby Fink. So this is good for them, and it's good for Bobby to be in this position as well. He needs a race.
And Rowdy, I misspoke earlier. I said 7 teenagers around Bobby Fink. Carson Hick is 21, but he's still closer to teen than 26. So
Yeah.
6 teenagers and the 21-year-old all try to hang with the 26-year-old two-time Olympic gold medalist of this event.
Boy, in my world, he is a kid. So, and he's only 3/4 of a second now behind. I'm talking about, actually, Creasy now has fallen off a little bit. And it is Hick that actually went in there first. He is still first and putting in a good time here. His best time's 15:05. I don't think any of them are going to be close to breaking 15:10, but they're all having a pretty good race, and that's what you want to try to do in this situation, is race. Bobby coming into the 1,400 mark pretty soon. He's got 200 meters left. Will we see that Bobby magic? He's right there, up there in lane number 5.
And again, he knows he's got pursuers right next to him on either side. Can he see Hick as well?
Good question.
Down there in lane 2?
That's a really good question, Jason. You can see him breathing to this side. So he's up there right underneath Creasy with that dark cap. I think, I don't know, man, with Mulgrew right next to him, I'm just not sure he can even see Hick up there. That might be a good question, especially if he wins this race. Could you see this guy? Because now he's a full body length. I think you could see him underwater, but remember, he's breathing to his right now. But that peripheral vision is going to help Bobby a lot. But, man, he's going to have to pull one out of his hat again.
Hick has found another gear to get some separation here. Mulgrew second best. Then it's Fink. Creasy in 4th, trying to hang on to a chance to get onto the podium. Setting up here for the final 100. The bell's ringing. And we'll see who starts to surge in front. Hick by about a 10th. Fink 3/4 of a second behind. Will we see that patented Fink finish?
Well, there is a little separation going on now. And Bobby doesn't normally have that Fink magic in season. When it really happens is when he's rested. Now you can see the tempo starting to move up a little bit, but boy, he is a full body length. Trust me, he can see Hick now.
And it's Mulgrew. It's rocketed in front by a half second into the final 50. Hick trying to battle back. What does Fink have in the tank?
Mulgrew's looking good now. He went by Hick. There goes Fink. Maybe he goes by Hick.
Well, the teenager from Harvard bested Fink about a month ago. Here comes Fink charging back down the stretch. Mulgrew gonna better the two-time Olympic gold medalist again as Fink surges in there for second. Hick, who led a long way, ends up third.
Well, that's a fun way to start an Indy, isn't it? You don't think the 1500 is entertaining? I don't know, man. I beg to differ. That was a good one, man. That was a really fun race to watch.
Mulgrew won in Fort Lauderdale in a lifetime best of 15:05.30. Goes 15:07.68 here to beat Fink by 3/4 of a second.
Wow.
And the rest of the competitors racing home. Deacon Gutschall, another performer from Tsunami swim team of Kansas City, there in lane 8. And there is Will Mulgrew besting Bobby Fink.
Well, Bobby's 57 flat on the inner, 57 low on the end, and it's 27.3 his last 50. But you know, Mulgrew was 27.8, not that far behind. Where Bobby usually makes that magical run is when he flips at the 1400 and really builds it. He didn't quite have it, that building feeling that he normally has. He didn't have that pop off that wall. Chased him down, went by Hick, almost caught Mulgrew, but I think this bodes well for all three of these swimmers, and even Creasy up there going a lifetime best. He goes 15:10. He goes his best time. Kind of sort of lost out of the picture, but that kid goes his best time by 10 seconds at 17 years old.
And again, Mulgrew able to hold on for the win, besting Bobby Fink, and our victor is with Nicole Auerbach.
It was an incredible race, nearly wire to wire, bunched up. Will, you took the lead late. Bobby Fink on your shoulder trying to come back. Walk us through those final few meters.
I mean, I know Bobby has a really strong back half, so I tried making a move a little earlier than I usually do, around like 150 to go, to kind of create some separation.
And you certainly did. What does a swim like that and against a field like that tell you about where you are in your training right now?
Yeah, I mean, I'm in pretty heavy training right now, so just being able to get the reps in, especially a meet that you swim a mile twice, and being able to race like a group of great swimmers is great, and good checkpoint right now.
Absolutely. Great swim by you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So a phenomenal race to begin the night here in Indy. Up next, how about a world record holder of the women's 100 fly? Gretchen Walsh just broke her own mark last month. Can she do it again? We'll find out next. The 2026 Tier Pro Swim Series is brought to you by Tier. always in front. Learn more at tier.com. By One America Financial. One America Financial prepares our customers for their financial future with the same dedication and preparation elite athletes achieve success. Learn more at oneamerica.com. And by Prevagen. Next final on tap here, women's 100-meter butterfly, Gretchen Walsh, the world record holder, the 23-year-old from Nashville, just bested her world mark again at a meet in Fort Lauderdale last month. And Rowdy, her races, they always seem to be an adventure.
At least at the beginning. Once she enters the water, it's not so much an adventure. But boy, at the start of things, yeah, things are, you would think, a little bit dicey. And this is an example. That's Gretchen Walsh's foot right there. It's still on the block. She is dead last. But oh, look at the right-hand side of your screen. Big difference, right? That was the 25 Nationals last summer. Her reaction time tells only part of the story, Jason. It really does. She more than makes up for it with that elite underwater propulsion and that breakout speed.
The rest of the field here in lane 1, Erica Pelaez swims at North Carolina State, the 19-year-old originally from Florida. The Olympic gold medalist from Paris is in the house. Tori Husk representing New York Athletic Club. That gold in the 100 fly, what are 5 medals from those Olympics. Alex Shackle from Carmel Swim Club here in Indiana, 6th in the 200 fly in Paris, won Olympic relay gold as well. Lane 4, Gretchen Walsh, repping New York Athletic Club as well. Fastest time in the heats for this final by over 2.5 seconds. That's in 100. Alex Walsh, older sister of Gretchen, been a world champ and Olympic medalist in the 200 IM, second quick in the heats. She'll have an IM on her schedule coming up later. There's Claire Curzan. She swam this event in Tokyo for the U.S. as a teenager, NCAA runner-up on the 100 fly. For Virginia last March, there's Tess Howley, repping Long Island Aquatic Club, World University Games gold last summer in Germany in the 200 fly. And Charlotte Crush, teenager from Louisville, Kentucky, Lakeside swim team, off to swim collegiately at Tennessee in the future. This a really good field. Alex Walsh, again, with all of her experience, but Rowdy, right now it feels like no one is in the same stratosphere with Gretchen Walsh, even Tori Husk, but again, now graduating from Stanford, starting to focus in on things as a pro. How does she try to come chase down Walsh?
Well, I don't think it happens here, but things are gradually progressing very well for Husk. This is an exceptional field, maybe the best of the night. In fact, it is the best field of the night. And again, Walsh slow off those blocks. Her priorities are the ones that she excels in, and it's right there in front of you with that, well, now body length lead at the 25 mark. You said 2.5 seconds. Did we even have 2.5 seconds separate the top 3 in the men's 1500? It's crazy. Look at this. I mean, it's unbelievable. 25 flat with the world record split that she just broke. 25-2 right there, right on it, right on it. Remember, she has the 13 fastest times in history. It's all happened in 2 years.
Surging again in the 100 fly. Every time she races this event, you salivate at what could come. Look at the lead for Walsh. What about the clock to the wall? 55 on the dot for Gretchen Walsh. A resounding win here by over 2 seconds. Claire Curzan second best, but Gretchen Walsh trounces them all again in the 100 fly.
So sweet, too. He's kind of acknowledged this crowd. Sorry, I didn't get that one there. It's unbelievable. 55.00. That's the 5th fastest time in history. Now she has the 14 fastest times in history. You see her right there on the left-hand side of your screen. Again, the reaction is not that big a deal because of the fact that what she fact, as when she enters the water, again, the physical factor is the big thing. She's 6'1". I remember the great sprinter Kate Campbell. She was taller than that. She was always dead last off the blocks, but she made up for it once she entered the water. Here's the 50 turn. Gretchen Walsh does the same exact thing. And when she starts getting going, man, look at this. I'm guessing at least half this field, Jason, 4 or 5, got to be half the field at least, will be in the finals at the Olympic trials in 2 years. That's how good she is.
And Gretchen is with Nicole.
That was the 5th fastest time ever in the 100 fly. Gretchen Walsh, what were you happiest with that swim?
We were happy with that swim. I was just telling you, sometimes it's hard to put a swim like that in perspective when my best is 0.7 faster, but that was something to be really proud of that time, and it's really fun doing it in front of this crowd.
You're never the fastest off the blocks, but what you do afterwards is unmatched. How do you explain that?
Honestly, Caleb Dressel told me what matters most is the entry, and I feel like I nail it every time. So who cares how fast I get off, as long as it's smooth in and clear water going out.
And you touch the wall first. Congrats again, Gretchen.
Thank you.
One butterfly legend to another. Caleb Dressel taking part in a B final here, and a lot of fans enjoying the action up close from the pool deck here in Indianapolis, and they get to see the best in the world in the women's 100 fly doing her thing. Gretchen Walsh, again, a dominant performance, winning by about 2.5 seconds. Another smile after another signature swim for Gretchen Walsh.
Welcome back to Indy in this iconic facility here at the Indiana University. And there you see one of our great partners, Floridra. It's USA Swimming's official equipment supplier, and they're not just equipping pools. As you look at all of our great partners, they're really helping build a stronger swim community with reliable, innovative solutions, and it's just perfect. Everything from backyard training to elite competition.
Well,
talk about elite.
Yeah, we saw Caleb Dressel smiling at that comment from Gretchen Walsh about a little advice he may have given. There's Dressel in the B final, the 9-time Olympic gold medalist. Not quite quick enough to get into the A, but goes 51.96 in the B to take the win. He is still the world record holder, best ever at this event, and the field of 8 rolling out here for this championship endeavor, including Kai Winkler, 20-year-old, grew up in Florida, swims at North Carolina State, swimming this event in Germany for Paris, just off his lifetime best to get the #1 seed here for the final. Again, he swam at the Olympic trials for the United States and then flipped to Germany, and then able to swim for the Germans at those games. Maxim Skazapsov from TAC Titans, representing Kazakhstan, was 4th at the World Juniors in this race last summer. There's Thomas Heilman, Paris Olympian in this event, swam it at a couple of World Championships as well. 19-year-old from the University of Virginia. Ilya Haroun from Arizona State, bronze in the 100 and 200 fly at the Worlds last summer for Canada. He's transitioning to swim for the United States, where he grew up. He'll be eligible later this year. There is Ilya Haroun there in lane 3. There's Kai Winkler. Top time in the heats by about 7/10. 20 years of age. Dylan Carter at age 30. 3-time Olympian alongside there from Trinidad and Tobago. USC Trojan alum. Now training at Azura, Florida Aquatics. Oli Edam, 6th at the World University Games for Germany last summer for the University of Michigan swimmer. Dare Rose, 2023 world bronze medalist of the 100 fly. Great college career at Cal, now training at Scarlet Aquatics in his home state of New Jersey. And Matthew Klinge from Ohio State University, the Buckeye on the cap. He swam this race at the World University Games. Rowdy, we mentioned Haroun. Again, he was born in Montreal, but grew up in the U.S. Longtime performer for Sandpipers of Nevada. Again, so he had Canadian status, but he's transitioning to come back to be able to swim for the U.S., hopefully later this year.
Good news for the United States. I think the race shapes up between Winkler and Haroun. They're right next to each other, lane 3 and 4. Haroun has the second fastest time in the world already this year at 50.7. Winkler was just off his PB from the prelims. He'll have some good speed. He can match the speed of a Haroun, but Haroun looking really good early on.
The 21-year-old there with Winkler. Dylan Carter trying to stay in the mix. He had a lifetime best in the heats to earn lane 5.
Yeah, and I love Dylan Carter going his best time ever at 30. I just don't think he has enough to hang with a Haroun or maybe even a Winkler at the end, and there goes Ilya.
Haroun trying to hold off Winkler to the wall. There is the 21-year-old. It takes it 50.61 seconds for Haroun and the win.
Really nice. Really nice swim for Haroun. I know Greg Meehan has a huge, we talked about a smile on Coach Meehan's face. I guarantee you he has a big smile right now with Haroun and that 50.6. The U.S. might just have found their next great butterflyer with Haroun, and Winkler having a really good one as well. First time he ever broke 51. He won his best time by 0.6 of a second. And again, he can match that speed of Haroun, but boy, Haroun is a guy that, you know, he wins bronze in this event in Paris. He wins bronze in the 200. You know he's not going to get tired. That is the second fastest time in the world this year. And guess what? Winkler, third fastest in the world this year. 2 exceptional swims right there.
Second fastest time in the world this year, Ilya. What was key in those last couple meters to get your hand on the wall first?
Just got to put my head down. It builds up the speed, and that's pretty much it.
That event is it's hard, it's a sprint, it's a full body work. What is the key, and why do you think you succeed in it?
Not quite sure, to be honest. I think it's just a lot of hard work goes into it. You know, me and Coach put in a lot of work day in and day out, and I think that's just how I succeed in it.
Congratulations, Ilya.
Thank you so much.
Still the maple leaf next to his name for now, but the Stars and Stripes will be there A little later on this year, again, Haroon wins its Pro Swim Series record, 50.61 seconds. Winkler and Rose also on the podium, followed by Heilman and Carter. Up next, Kate Douglas, Olympic gold, world champ of the 200 breast, chasing another race victory here at the Tier Pro Swim Series, Indianapolis. What a start to the Tier Pro Swim Series here last night in Indianapolis. Katie Ledecky continuing that 15-year unbeaten streak in that event. Some of the other terrific performances, including Rowdy Van Matthias, continues to impress, bettering his own American record in the 50 breast. Isabel Staden continuing her resurgence. Ryan Murphy there. And oh yeah, Kate Douglas, another brilliant performance for her.
Yeah, 207 flat and the 200 IM. Very, very quick.
Some awesome swims for all of those performers. And guess what? Kate Douglas back at it in one of her other top events, the women's 200 breaststroke. She's the American record holder, Olympic gold medalist from Paris, world champion last summer in Singapore, representing New York Athletic Club. And Rowdy, last night after that win of the 200 IM in the press room, talking about all the work in the weight room the last few years really helped transform her body, and that's translated to some of those world-class performances. Another University of Virginia performer, Katie Christopherson, 5th at the World University Games last summer in the 200 breast. She's in lane 1. Adeline Robillard from Alto Swim Club in California. She's in lane 2. Amy Canny, South African, who swims at UVA, set national records of the 200 free and 200 IM for herself already at this meet. Douglas holding down lane 4. Big wave and a smile for the fans here in Indy. Fastest in heats of this event by over 2.5 seconds. Alex Walsh, saw her in the 100 fly earlier. Semi-finalist in this race at the Worlds last summer. Elizabeth Naraki from Academy Bullet Swim Club in Illinois. Swims in college there for the Georgia Bulldogs. And Ellie Yefimova from North Carolina State, Paris Olympic finalist in the 100 breast for Estonia. Won the 50 breast already at this meet. And Sophie Umstead from Michigan Lakeshore Aquatics, another University of Virginia Cavalier. Alex Walsh, again, her pedigree, Rowdy, from that 200 IM where she's so strong, but she started to come along in this race, again had the opportunity to swim it for the U.S. at the Worlds last summer in Singapore.
Yeah, you're looking at the 2 best American 200 breaststrokers, and it's not even close.
Take your marks.
I mean, if this form holds true for the next couple of years, these are 2 that are pretty sure shot to make the Olympic team. They were 1st and 4th in the world last year. Douglas is the 2nd fastest in the world this year, behind Evans of Great Britain. She's done it all, almost, in this event, right? World record, Olympic gold medalist, NCAA champion, if you want to throw in a 3rd one. The only one that's missing from that resume is the world record itself by Chickanova. And I think eventually she's going to get it. So talented.
Yeah, surging out right now. It was interesting chatting with Kate Rowdy again, her versatility from sprint, freestyle, distance, breaststroke. Said Todd DeSorbo, her coach of Virginia, sometimes talking to her, maybe continuing to, tinker with events. Not right now, it's set for what she's doing here, but it's nice to have options, and it feels like her skill set, there's unlimited options.
Yeah, when we were talking about that earlier, you had that great conversation with her, and the times I've talked to her, she has said the same thing. It's good to have that diversity in your repertoire. I mean, it really helps other parts of your swimming. Now, how does a 50 freestyle help a 200 breaststroke? I'm not real sure, but she knows what she's doing, and she does it so well time and time again, and has become that money swimmer for the United States in events they really need help in. That 100 breaststroke is one that she really needs to keep concentrating on, because right now she's the top of the heap. And give a shout out here to Alex Walsh real quick, because she's having a great swimming, coming off a 100 fly that was what, 20 minutes ago. That's a pretty good double, 100 fly, 200 breast. She's right there at her feet.
Amy Canny is in the front half of the double. She's got the 400 IM coming up a little bit later on. Again, the South African who performs in Charlottesville there with the powerhouse program, the Virginia Cavaliers. Closest here to Kate Douglas, but Douglas in cruise control right now and going to work her way to another win. 2:21.65 seconds in the victory. Canny and Walsh making it a all-Cavalier top 3. Yefimova, the winner of the 53 there in 4.
Nice swim for Douglas, but even better swim overall by Canny. And one of those Virginia Cavaliers that you mentioned went right on her best time ever. But Kate Douglas, start to finish, there wasn't any question whatsoever in this race. There's Kate's stroke. She's just so good at that stretch, so good at being crisp and clean on each and every turn. As she goes into this last turn, you see Canny underneath her, Walsh right above her, having a good second swim for a double. But, Kate Douglas is just one of those swimmers that just can do everything for you. And the versatility is going to help this U.S. team any way possible. I mean, they can throw her on a fly leg. Walsh has got that. They can throw her on a free leg, breast leg. Maybe the only one that she wouldn't swim is backstroke.
And Kate Douglas is with Nicole.
That was the 4th fastest time that we've seen this year in the 200 breaststroke. Kate, we see you, kind of controlling your own pace. You're going against your own times. What were you happiest with in that swim?
I mean, I think I was just happy I wasn't afraid to go out strong. I was thinking about it in warm-up, and I knew it was going to hurt, but proud of myself for swimming that the way I did.
Rowdy always says that you swim that race in such a clean, controlled way. How do you explain all of the segments having that dominance and that control?
Yeah, I mean, I think just in practice every day, I think about stroke counts, and I count my strokes every lap. I kind of know what I'm going to do going into a race, and so I'm able to kind of have that race plan before.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Another strong swim from Kate Douglas, and some maybe future performers at a Tiers Pro Swim Series event. Loving the action here in Indy. Here in downtown Indianapolis, look at Monument Circle, standing proudly here in this Midwestern gem. IU Natatorium has its place in lore in this city, and for what it's meant for the sport of swimming, Tier Pro Swim Series making another stop here as we get set for the men's 200-meter breaststroke final. Matt Fallon still holds the American record. Van Mathias lowered his own American record in the 50 breast here last night. Doesn't swim the 200 breast, but Luke Barr does. Indiana Hoosier alum, 4th in the 200 IM at this meet last night. Top time in the heats for the 400 IM for the man representing Texas Ford Aquatics. Another Hoosier product, Josh Matheny, been an Olympic and world finalist in this event. 23-year-old from IU Swim Club, Western PA native. There's Finley Conklin from the University of Louisville. Personal best for the 19-year-old in the prelims. He's in lane 2. Lane 3, Jed Garner, proud Towson Tiger from that great institution in Maryland. Luke Barr, top time of the heats by about 6/10. Will be in lane 4. Josh Bay, another Hoosier, NCAA runner-up of the 200-yard breast for IU in March. Bay, age 19, from Hinsdale, Illinois, in lane 5. Charlie Eglund, college swimmer at Yale, but training with Indiana Swim Club this summer. He's in lane 6. Denis Petrashov, 2025 world bronze medalist, 3-time Olympian for Kyrgyzstan. We're up in Cardinal Aquatics, and there's Wilson York from Lakeside Swim Team in Louisville, Kentucky, the 16-year-old making this final. He's in lane 8. Everywhere you look, Rowdy, Hoosiers here in the breaststroke.
Why they call it breaststroke U, and you'll see a lot of those Indiana swim caps in this race, as well as so many others. Ray Lewis, the head coach there.
Take your marks.
Interesting event. It really is fascinating when you think about it on the men's side. No Americans ranked in the top 10 this year. None ranked in the top 10 last year. You have to go way back to 2024 when Matheny finaled in those Olympic Games. Of course, Matthew Fallon also had a brilliant swim there as well. And I think it creates a lot of opportunities because you still have a lot of experience coming back these last couple years. The top 3 from those Olympic trial finals all still swimming. You add a couple more, like Bay, who was in that final. Nick Fink on the comeback trail. Could he swim the 200? I think he'll probably stick to the 50 and the 100, but he could come back in the 200. You've got a youngster like Wilson York up there in lane number 8. He's only 16. I think the future is bright. I think they still have a long way to go to be able to get there in that top tier in the world.
Well, a man who was on the podium in the 100 breast last summer in Singapore, Petrashov, again representing Cardinal Aquatics' swim home in Louisville, rolling right now in lane 7.
Yeah, he's the only guy that finaled in the 50 outside Finley Conklin. So you know he's going to have that nice, easy, early speed, full body length at the 150. The only international swimmer in the field, actually. The rest are all Americans. And the Americans have a long way to go to catch Petrashov. But here they come.
Back half action activated, coming hard down the stretch, seeing who can make a move here on Petrashov. But Petrashov in lane 7 gonna make it stand up, able to hold off Josh Bay and everybody else. 2:09.16. How about a new lifetime best by almost a full second in the 200 breasts for the world bronze medalist of the 100 breast last summer?
Yeah, pops him into the top 10 in the world. And what a swim by Josh Bay as well. He goes his lifetime best, Jason, by almost a second. So that'll put a smile on your face too, young man. Really nice job. Again, Bay is only 19 years of age. We forgot about the youngsters like somebody like York, who's only 16, but look at Josh Bay and what Petrashov did at the 150. Bay right there in the mix with Barr and Garner. They're kind of fighting for second, but Bay had a tremendous last 50, 33.7 on his last 50. Only Conklin outsplit him that last 50, and he was running Petrosov down. Petrosov pretty good, 34 flat. Great job by him, and great job by Josh Bay, Indiana.
Let's make it not only the top 2, but how about the top 4, all with lifetime bests? Garner and Conklin also shave about a minute off their previous fast swims to earn some great accolades here in the final of the men's 200 breast. Petrosov, the best of the bunch in taking the title and winning going away here in Indy. Loving the action in Indy. Would assume a lot of those kids are already on a swim team, but if you need to find one and you're ready, head to the USA Swimming homepage and click the Find a Team button to get started. USA Swimming's Find a Team tool makes it easy to search more than 2,700 USA Swimming clubs nationwide and connect with a program that fits your family's needs. Right here in Indianapolis, they have a vibrant and growing USA Swimming community, opportunities for swimmers of all ages and levels. Special thank you to IU Natatorium for hosting this week's event and supporting the continued growth of swimming. Dart Swimming hosted the last Tier Pro Swim Series stop in Sacramento. Visit the USA Swimming site now to find a team and get started. We're ready to start the women's 50-meter backstroke final. Kayla McEwen, the world record. Catherine Burkhoff, the American record holder and reigning world champ, is here. They're in lane number 4. 25-year-old from Wolfpack Elite and NC State. But she's not the only past world champion of this race in it. There's Olivia Smoliga, won the title in 2019. Her return to the sport right now after stepping away for a bit for the 31-year-old. Qualifying third quick, she'll be in lane number 3. Caitlin Owens from Texas A&M, they're in lane 1. Alongside in lane 2, it's Ryan White, 4th in the 100 and 200 backstrokes at the Tokyo Olympics. For the Utah native, Alabama swim alum, trains at Wolfpack Elite. There's Olivia Smoliga, now training at Texas Forward Aquatics. Two-time Olympian relay gold medalist for Team USA. Burkhoff set a new Pro Swim Series record in the heats, 27:05, top time in the world this year. Isabel Staten been on a tear. Now, she won the 100 back last night. Now, third fastest time in the world this year, what she did in prelims. Claire Curzan another past world champion of the 50 back in this race.
There can't be any more.
She won bronze at the 200 back last summer at Singapore. Maggie Wanaszek, third in the 100 back already at this meet. And Leah Shackley, again, World University gains gold in the 50 and 200 back last summer in Germany.
I'd say this is a pretty good field. 3 world champions, all in this event, right?
Absolutely.
Did you get that right?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And how about Isabel Stadden, Ratty?
Yeah.
She was basically thinking of stepping away from the sport. She stepped away for 5 months, changed her training home to the University of Virginia, going faster than she's ever gone. She said just swimming freely, and the practice times that she was doing are now finally translating to racing.
Yeah, I know you talked to her last night, and she is one of those great backstrokers that the United States now has.
Take your marks.
I think with these 3 world champions, I think Burkhoff is the one to beat. Stadden's right there. She won her best time in the preliminaries. Won the 100 backstroke earlier. And has shown that speed. Great 200 backstroker as well, but Burkhoff really is so good in this 50. I don't know.
Right there, Burkhoff inching ahead of Stadden at the end and holds her off by about 2/10. Great race. Curzan in the mix there in third.
Wow, and what a time. She almost broke her own American record. Jason, 1/100th of a second off of that, and Isabel Stadden goes another PB in the 50 backstroke, and she becomes the 3rd fastest, well, stays the 3rd fastest swimmer in the world, only behind McCune, the world record holder. What a swim by this pair of Americans, and you can see them right there, lanes 4 and 5. Burkhoff off to that fantastic start, so good at the underwaters. Improving dramatically, though, is Stadden. She was out of the sport pretty much last year, right? You said that she was thinking about quitting, took 5 months off, has come back swimming for guess who? Todd DeSorbro. Big surprise there. And the 2 of them come stroke for stroke, and 26.98. Wow.
So concerned with who got there first, you don't realize Burkhoff was a fraction away from breaking her own American record. She's with Nicole.
Yeah, just 1/100th of a second off of your lifetime best and the American record. Incredible times, incredible race. What were you happiest with there today?
Just having 2 really good swims. I wasn't sure how it was going to go, and I feel like I really have been nailing my start this week, so it felt really good.
It's always a loaded field whenever we look at these backstrokes, but certainly the 50 backfield that you were just in with 3 world champions. How do these types of races, these finals, help prepare you as you head further into the summer?
I mean, every meet is like basically the big meet lineup, so I think it's really good that we all have each other to push each other to keep getting better.
And certainly you did. Congrats.
Thank you.
Catherine Burkhoff getting after it to get the win against a strong field. Up next, Ryan Murphy's return to the sport continues. We'll see him in the 50 back on the men's side next. Ready to get back at it here in Indianapolis in the men's 50-meter backstroke final. And one of the legends of backstroke will be in the mix here. Ryan Murphy, meet 2, back racing after almost a 2-year layoff from competing since the Paris Olympics. Guy that's won Olympic golds, world titles, and won the 50 back, second of the 100 back at his first meet back. Tier Pro Swim Series stopped Sacramento last month and already has a win in the 100 back at this meet. There's Grant Bachensky from Columbia Swim Team of Missouri. He'll be in lane 1. Michael Andrew, relay gold in Tokyo for him. Second of the 50 breast for a guy that loves sprint racing. 27-year-old longtime pro will be in lane 2. Kai Winkler, second of the 100 back, saw his showcase there in the 100 fly as well. The 20-year-old from Wolfpack Elite representing Germany. Murphy, Cal Aquatics star, 24.75 seconds. The prelims time, best by about 2/10. There's wife Bridget, daughter Evie. Another child is on the way later this summer. First time they've been at a meet, at least Evie there. There's Quentin McCarty, U.S. national champ last summer, then 5th at the Worlds in this race for the 22-year-old from Wolfpack Elite. Adam Chaney, 3rd at the NCAAs for Arizona State in the 100-yard back in March. He was 3rd in the 100 back already at this meet. David King swam at the World University Games, taking silver in the 200 back last summer for the performer from University of Virginia, and Remy Fabiani from Sun Devil Swimming. College career with the Arizona State, finishing up there, and multiple world championship appearances for Luxembourg. So the field ready here for this 50 back. Hardy Rowdy asserted himself with that national title and swim at the Worlds last year.
Yeah, 5th in that 50. It all comes down to Murph and this great start that he has. This is an event that he has never really concentrated on because it was never an Olympic event. That has changed, of course, and of course this will be a big part of his program over the next couple of years, the 100 being that mainstay. Another great start from above, but not quite with the rest of the swimmers, but you can see him right there in lane number 4, just inching out. He is so good under the water on that breakout.
Traditional, strong Murphy start. Can he make it? Stand up at the other end. Murphy watching Quentin McCarty go on by to take the victory. 24.45 seconds, only about a 10th off his lifetime best.
You know, Quentin McCarty is the real deal. 22 years of age. He is 8 years younger than Ryan Murphy. He's got that youth. He's got that experience. He's right above Murph, right there in lane number 5. And boy, once he gets rolling, man, he came up behind Murph. You see Murph, he's inched out ahead right there. Can barely see him above, but then McCarty, boy, he put into a different gear going into that wall. That looks like a Murph kind of close at the end. Murph, nice time though, 24-7. He'll take the time, but a great swim by Quentin McCarty to pull what might be considered a bit of an upset.
Well, the national champion from last summer reigns supreme again. Quentin is with Nicole.
Yeah, it was a great swim and a close finish. Quentin, you pointed at yourself in the pool at the end. What were you thinking?
I'm just pointing at the diamond. It means a lot to me. It means a lot to NC State as a whole. Wouldn't be here without it. Wouldn't be here without my team and my guys and everyone who surrounds me and God. So, yeah.
It was a great field. Ryan Murphy right there. You had to come back and beat him. You mentioned the Wolfpack. There's always backstrokers everywhere. What did that swim in that time tell you about where you are in your training?
You know, we're tired, but we're still moving. I think that's a really good sign. Really excited moving into Pan Pacs, represent USA once again, and just keep moving forward.
Tired but moving is a great strategy. I like that. Congrats.
Thank you so much.
Quentin McCarty starting to feel it. Brendan Holloway, his head coach at North Carolina State, Got to be excited about the progress of a lot of his swimmers. Kai Winkler in that mix as well. But that member of the Wolf Pack, he can howl proud tonight. He's the latest winner at the Tier Pro Swim Series, Indianapolis. Here's a look at memorable moments brought to you by Prevagen. Lucas Oil Stadium hosting the U.S. Olympic trials for Paris 2 years ago. Big setting, big performance in the women's 400 IM.
Of the fly in back of Grimes needs to be at least 4 seconds ahead of Wyant if she's going to win this race, because Wyant will fly, no pun intended, on the breaststroke leg. That third 100 is where you're going to see a dynamic that's pretty fascinating to watch.
You see Grimes' lead slowly but surely evaporating.
Yeah, you know, so much in the breaststroke is about a complete shift in skill. You can't cruise on it. You can't glide too long. You've got to get enough out of the kick. You want to glide as much as possible because you feel like you're in trouble.
And look at this deadlock, Rowdy.
Oh!
3 of them virtually within a half second of each other as they head to freestyle.
Well, I said she was almost 4 seconds ahead at the 200. Wyatt went ahead of her on the breaststroke, but this freestyle is totally unexpected.
Who's going to be the best American here at the trials in 24? Still undecided. Grimes with the upper hand. Grimes kicking into high gear, trying to hold off Emma Wyatt, and Katie Grimes gets another spot at the Olympics. Memorable moments, all right, there. 2 years prior, just down the road at Lucas Oil Stadium. And again, the action continuing this summer. Toyota National Championships there in Irvine, California. 2026 Toyota National Championships. Again, hosted by Irvine, front half of their swimming dream doubleheader this summer. That and Pan Packs, again, juniors will be there as well. Going to be a phenomenal summer of swimming there in Southern California. Here at Indianapolis, always good when they walk to the blocks here at IU Natatorium. And doing that here in the women's 400 individual medley, Katie Hoff still holds the American record from the 2008 trials, and it's another American Katie looking strong in this race. That'd be Katie Grimes, 20-year-old Olympic silver medalist, won that crown, as you saw at the trials of the 400 IM, two-time world silver medalist in this race as well. She'll see her old competitor in Emma Wyatt in this race. There's Leah Hayes, another Virginia swimmer, 2022 world bronze medalist in the 200 IM as a teenager, now 20 years of age. Audrey Darabo, she's 16 from Jersey Wahoos, Haddonfield, New Jersey. Future Texas Longhorn, the world junior champ of the 200 IM last summer. There's Grimes, second of the 1500 last night, third quick in the heats here for the 400 IM. Sydney Scheck, 17-year-old from CSP Tide Riders in Missouri, lifetime best in the heats to be the top qualifier. Again, with two of the Olympic medalists from Paris alongside her. Saw Grimes before. There's Emma Wyatt, who's a two-time Olympic medalist in this event, silver Tokyo, bronze in Paris. Amy Canny, she's been super fast in a variety of events this meet. The South African from UVA making another final. Caroline Bricker, past NCAA champion of the 400-yard IM, sixth at the Worlds last summer, the 200 fly for the swimmer from Alto Swim Club. And Kate Allen, 13 years of age, Rowdy, a lifetime best in the heats. And she gets to swim with a couple of Olympic medalists in this race.
Not a bad way to start this perhaps illustrious career that Kate Allen is in store for. It's going to be a tall order to beat somebody like Emma Wyatt, who has been there so often. 11 years older at 24, Wyatt is. And Scheck, you mentioned Scheck. I saw her coach earlier and said, great job. I mean, just a beautiful job in going that PB, getting under 440 for the first time. Devereaux's only 16. Scheck 17. Young teenagers on the way up.
And Rowdy, we had a chance to talk with Greg Meehan earlier in the men's 1500, and we just had that promo for the Nationals. That's why they're going to be so intriguing this year. Again, we know it's going to Pan Packs, but opportunity to race for a national title for a lot of athletes this summer, especially some of these teenagers rising to the forefront, maybe foreshadowing what they could do on the trial stage in LA 2 years later. It's going to be fascinating.
It really will. But 2 years is a long time, and so many different things can happen to you in that 2-year period. And when you think of somebody like Kate Allen, that 13-year-old, the sky is the limit. she won't even be, 6 years from Brisbane? She'll still be a teenager, for crying out loud, by the time we get to the 2032 Olympic Games. She's got a long way to go.
Yeah, she's got 6 weeks or so from being a wicked old 14 coming up. She's there in lane 8, top of your screen, trying to hang with some of the best in the world. Grimes has the upper hand here in backstroke. Derevo, again, certainly at the junior level, been outstanding, and right now she's second best next to Grimes.
Yeah, Devereaux's so good in backstroke and butterfly. Those are her 2 best events. Grimes really good on those long axis strokes of backstroke and freestyle. And heck, we talked about that in the memorable moment just a few minutes ago. Don't forget that woman right there. That was Emma Wyant, who has a tremendous back half. I talked about it 2 years ago. I'll talk about it again. She is so good the second half of the race. Sheck kind of moving up there as well in that pink cap, the top qualifier.
Derevo right now pulling ahead of Grimes. Super backstroke leg for the 16-year-old, lead by about a 10th. Sheck third best. Emma Wyant, we expect her to make her push right now.
Yeah, well, if you looked at the clock and you could tell, she's exactly 2 seconds behind Sheck in 4th place, 2:13.8 to 2:11.6, and she's already got to 3rd already. She's going to go by Grimes here as well. Will she catch Sheck? Not too sure. But still, you know the back half of Wyant is going to be tough. Really nice by Devereaux. 16, she'll be 17 in August, but 4:37 is her best time. She's already proven to be a world stage type swimmer.
Derevo continuing to hang on to this lead. Grimes just above her. Leah Hayes, we know her pedigree in the 200 IM, world bronze medalist. She won gold in the 200 and 400 IM at the World University Games last summer for the United States. She's getting into the conversation as well. But how about Emma Wyant from 4th to 1st in breaststroke and leading the way in freestyle, ahead by over a second.
Well, she went from 2 seconds down to a second up, and you see Derevo is still in second. She's right there in lane number 2, 2 from the bottom, but right now, look at Wyant go, and there goes Grimes in that great freestyle that she had. The 2 Olympians starting to kind of move back out and prove they're still the ones to beat.
Emma Wyant setting sail on the rest of the field here, adding to the lead, dropping everybody by another second with the first half of the freestyle. Does anybody have anything for her down the stretch? Here comes Grimes. We know her freestyle pedigree.
Yeah, Grimes is so good on the back half. When I say back half, the last 100, but Wyant did just so much, and that just springboarded her into the freestyle leg.
Emma Wyant, super swim here to take the victory. Grimes in there for second over Kenny. Sheck in 4th, and the teenager Derevo rounding out the top 5. Emma Wyant just looks like a smooth afternoon swim here in the 400 IM as she cruises to the W.
What a field, though. 5 swimmers under 440. You mentioned Derevo. She's 4:39.6, and she was 5th. That was a great swim, especially for those top 5 swimmers. And Kate Allen, don't forget that 13-year-old. She went her best time. She finished 8th, but she goes another PB as well. And you see the backstroke leg. Derevo looking really solid there, that front half. But that breaststroke can just be the Achilles heel for so many different swimmers, or it can be something that is magical, and it's always been that for Emma Wyant on that breaststroke. And it just leads to so much confidence for her when she gets into the freestyle. Good swim for the youngsters like Derevo and Allen. Sheck, another good swim for her. But it was the veterans on this one.
Yeah, Sheck lowers her lifetime best again. Canny with a strong swim to take third. Emma is with Nicole.
Emma, we were just joking about watching you swim the 400 IM. Like, it's stressful for the first 200. How confident are you? You go to that turn and you get to go into the breaststroke leg.
Yeah, I don't think there's anyone more stressed out than my mom during that race. But I'm just very confident in my back half. We work on it at practice, and I know that it will always be there if I'm in the race.
And when you are kind of evaluating where you are heading into, we got Nationals, Pan Pac, so everything right around the corner. What does a swim in a time like that tell you about where you are?
Honestly, I surprised myself tonight. I was happy with that time. I didn't really know where I was going to be since we're in training, but I'm really happy with that, and I'm feeling confident going into the summer.
Congrats to you, and congrats to your mom as well.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Sometimes watching someone you love get after it is challenging. Emma Wyatt enjoying her latest win. The 2026 Tier Pro Swim Series is brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. By Credit Union One, the official credit union partner of USA Swimming. By Fanatics. Don't forget to check out fanshop.usaswimming.org for the latest USA Swimming gear, a Fanatics experience. And by Tier, always in front. Learn more at tier.com. Well, the 2026 Pan Pacific Championships presented by One America Financial coming to Irvine, California, August 12th through 15th. The best swimmers from the U.S. head-to-head international superstars from other nations like Canada, Australia, Japan, China, more coming in the largest international swimming competition of this year. Multiple sessions already sold out. Act quick to make sure you don't miss an incredible opportunity to watch the fastest swimmers on the planet right here in the States in California. You can scan the QR code on the screen now to buy tickets, and we will see you in Irvine. 16 years, Rowdy, since the last time Pan Pacs were held in the U.S. Some of the multiple individual gold medalists.
Boy, that brings back some great memories, doesn't it? I mean, look at that list. Phelps and Lochte, Beisel. My man, Nathan Adrian, just inducted into the Swimming Hall of Fame. It's just who's who. Maybe the greatest breaststroker in history, in Kitajima. Boy, times are changing.
Now, speaking of top performers here, we'll see what we've got in the men's 400 IM. Leon Marchand, world record holder. Michael Phelps still has the American record. Bobby Fink. Again, the 1500 for him earlier. Ended up running second to Will Mulgrew. That started the session, and now Bobby going to end it in the 400 free. Again, guy that won the U.S. national title last summer. U.S. Open in the winter, he was 6th. Didn't swim it at Worlds last year, yet focusing on his signature events, the 1500 and the 800 free. There's Tristan Yankovic from Ohio State University, Paris Olympian in the 400 IM for Canada. Yuki Ikari, Tokyo Olympian for Japan in this event. He'll be in lane 2. Ryan Arisman from Cal Aquatics, second of the 200 free at this meet. Personal best time in the heats to qualify third for the 400 IM final. Lauren Wigginton, the Canadian who swims at Michigan, top 15 finishes in this race at the last 3 World Championships for Canada. There's Yi Zhang from Carmel Swim Club here in Indiana, 4th at the World Juniors last summer in the 400 IM, the 16-year-old there in lane 5. Grant Sanders, 28-year-old from St. Petersburg Aquatics. He'll be in lane 6. Dominic Mark Turok from Wisconsin Aquatics, 2-time Big Ten champion in the 400 IM at Wisconsin for the man from Hungary. And there is Bobby Fink. And his 2 Olympic golds in the 1500 free, Olympic gold, Olympic silver, and his 2 runs at the Olympics in the 800 free. Wigginton again has been in the mix for Canada at the last 3 Worlds in this race.
Take your marks.
Jason Fink had, what, an hour and 20 minutes? About. Rest, that's a lifetime for the average double. This is no average double, though, with a 1500 and 400 IM. But still should be plenty of time for a great swimmer like Bobby Fink to come back. He's way up there at the very top of the screen. This kid in lane number 5, only 16 years of age, like Daravo in the previous women's final. That stroke probably breaststroke. He's had some good history on the World Junior level. You mentioned him just outside that medal last summer, Junior World.
Wigginton with the lead over the teenagers Zhang and Arisman by about 4/10 as they flipped over for backstroke. See if Bobby Fink can get himself going again. He was last at the turn there. Now trying to work his way up in backstroke, but still a sizable gap for him. Arisman now stretching his way to the lead. Wigginton just above him in second, and Zhang, 16-year-old, in the mix right now in lane 5.
Well, for those that don't know much about the sport, just tuning in, you see Arisman right in front of you, the 19-year-old. Yes, he is related to Riley, the older brother of Riley Arisman, who Greg Meehan was so high on earlier when we talked to him during that 1500. Another great young swimmer on the women's side. Well, this is a great young swimmer on the men's side. And he is a very good freestyler, so you don't want to be close to him on freestyle. Grant Sanders up there in lane 6, he's got a long way to go. But Zhang right there, this is his best stroke, the breaststroke. Let's see what he does with it. He's 2 lanes above Arisman, and now he's starting to move out just a touch, Jason.
Again, 4th at the World Juniors last summer for the United States. And now ahead by almost 6/10 over Arisman. Wigginton's been in the top 3 the entire way, and he remains there, albeit in 3rd.
Well, you know, Wigginton has the best time by far of these 3 swimmers that are up there. I mean, he's been 4:12, Zhang 4:17. Arisman actually has the slowest of those 3 at 4:18.
And again, that time came for Arisman from prelims. Can he lower his best ever swim in this event? He might, because it's really racy right now. Those top 3 separated by less than a second as we get into freestyle.
And I thought that's where Arisman needed to be. He needed to be under a second to have a chance. This guy's going to be a great freestyler. Really, really good freestyler. Might be a really good 400 IM. I like the way he's looking. You can see that tempo starting to move up, and he goes by the other 2 swimmers right now. I love the way he looked going into that 3rd turn, or that 3rd 100 rather.
He was 2nd of the 200 free already here in Indy, and right now looking strong in this freestyle finish in the 400 IM. Arisman pouring it on.
4:18.3 is his best time. Remember that. As far as the clock goes, he's going to blow by that. 4:03, he's got 15 seconds to get in, and he's only 5 meters left to go.
Ryan Arisman with another signature swim, and he destroys his lifetime best by about 6 seconds in taking a massive win here in the 400 IM.
Massive indeed. I mean, what a swim. And what a swim from all 3, especially Zhang. You know, he gets lost in the mix because he got passed there at the end by Arisman and Wigginton, but the young 16-year-old goes his best time by almost 2 seconds. 16, don't forget. 19 for Arisman. Yeah, you peek into this crystal ball, man. 2 years, these kids right here, they're the real deal. They could join the likes of Foster and Maurer and some of these other great 400 IMers that have a really solid 400 IM when we get back here 2 years in Indy. And Arisman, what a last 100. 28.3 and 27.4. His last 100, he's 55 plus on the end in that last 100.
What a swim from Ryan Arisman to cap this night of action at the Tier Pro Swim Series. Let's hear from the victor. Nicole's got him.
Well, he just keeps creating a new lifetime best. This one by about 6 seconds. Ryan, you know, you took over that race in the freestyle leg, but what's going through your mind when you look up and you see that time of 4:12?
Yeah, it feels great. Definitely this time of year, you know, like pretty deep into a pretty big training block right now, so it just feels great to go a time like that, yeah.
And, you know, you're trying to continue to break through and take next steps and strides in your career. What does a swim and a performance like that here in Indy do for you?
Yeah, you know, it's just a reminder. You just got to stay focused on the goal, you know, long term, which is LA and Worlds next year. So just taking that, you know, and just getting back to work with it.
Well, congratulations. Great swim.
Thank you.
Nicole Ryan, thanks. impressive stuff for Arisman. Again, looking at the winners from today, Mulgrew able to best Bobby Fink, who never a factor there, but did get it a great invigorating swim in the back half of that audacious double in the 1500 and the 400 IM. Gretchen Walsh, Kate Douglas among the standout stars as we look ahead to tomorrow, Rowdy, and see some of those events. What are you looking forward to?
That nifty 50, man. What else is there? I can't wait for that 50 free. It's going to be a fun one.
Women's 200 backstroke, always with a stout field. Think they enjoyed it. Hope you did, wherever you're checking it out as well. And you can join us again tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern on Peacock for more action from the 2026 Tier Pro Swim Series, Indianapolis. For Rowdy Gaines, Nicole Auerbach, and our entire NBC Sports crew, this is Jason Knapp saying so long for now. Thanks for watching the action from the venerable IU Natatorium here in downtown Indianapolis, and action in the Tier Pro Swim Series.